So I will share my screen, okay? So my screen is visible, right? All of you.
Yes.
So today we'll go through the deployment strategy, okay? Deployment strategy. So coming to software deployment, okay, we need to, coming to production, we need to select one of the deployment strategy up, okay? So using one of the strategy, we follow the strategy and deploy the application. For example, uh, this strategies comes under the Kubernetes part, okay? So I will explain with the Kubernetes scenario. So we have a Kubernetes cluster. So the cluster sees the production. Okay, consider this Kubernetes cluster for the production, and this is a worker part. And we have that node, right? Node 1 and node 2. That's fine. And we deploy the application. So this is the application pod with the application container. And we call this application, this is production, okay? So this application have different versions, right? So consider this is a new version that's we called as version 1, okay? This is a new application, that's fine. And that application running in Kubernetes, also in production environment. So we need to, some new, consider like that for the same application, some new features are updated, okay? Like adding new features or uh, similar changes for the application, right? So the development team write new codes and they will ready for the release, okay? So how we will deploy this application? I mean, the version 1. For the version 1, we have an image, right? A Docker image. We can call it as a version 1, okay? So this image actually using for this application, current application. And now, so the process of the V1, okay, I will show the process of the V1 as well. For example, some codes are there for the code that related to the version 1 application, okay? And Docker file there. And using Docker file, they built the image, right? So image. So this is an image actually, same image. So the same image we use for the application using Kubernetes. So we have to create that YAML file. And inside the YAML file, we define the image, application image as same application or the image v1, okay? So that's fine. So now the version 1 is running. Consider we have to change something, okay? I mean, for the V1, we added new feature, okay? Consider like that. So for same application, we added some new features. So there is the same workflow, okay? Consider like that. We have a source code, and now the source code have some new features, right? And we have the same Docker image, and we have to build the same image again. So the image comes V2, okay? Image we called as V2. That means some new features added in our application code. So we have the new image, right? So we need to deploy this version 2 image to the production environment. So in that case, actually, we need to select one of the strategies. There are different types of strategies are there. Canary, canary deployment, blue-green, blue-green deployment strategy, canary deployment strategy, A/B testing strategy, or A/B testing. Similar, like there are different types of strategies are there. Okay, so as per the requirement, we need to select corresponding. But most common used strategies are canary or blue-green deployment. Okay, so the requirement is we need to deploy that the latest image to the production without no without business impact. That's the main thing because this is a production, right? So that's the thing. Okay. So now we have the V2. So we need to release the V2 to production. So if we select Canary, okay, if we select Canary approach to deploy the version 2 to the production, the process look like, okay, uh, okay, we directly deploy the image to the Kubernetes, okay, consider like that. For example, this is a running pod, okay. This is a pod, that pod containing our version 1 application. And we are now going to deploy the V2. So that directly we deploy the V2, okay. So how this application is accessible for the users currently, the V1. So we have a same service for the same application, right? Service. That means we have a service.yaml that service defined or interact with the corresponding application. So the user accessing, okay, user access using the service load balancer, okay, load balancer. And the load balancer taking the request and sending to the request to the corresponding application port. That's a scenario how this application accessible outside the Kubernetes cluster using load balancer. If we select the service type as load balancer, okay. Now we are good to deploy the V2. So V2 will deploy in this pod or any of that uh, node, okay. This node or any console like that comes under the second node, okay. That's not an issue. So we have one more node. So the application or the pod create here and the image application running fine. And this is the V2 latest version. Got it. So now actually the 100% or all the traffic hitting our service for the application V1. That means we have a application V1 and we have a service connection for the same. So we using that service connection, okay, that load balancer DNS name to access the application. So consider like that 100% traffic or all the requests now accessing our V1. Got it. So now we are our application is deployed. V2 is deployed. Okay, the pod is running there, but there is no traffic because we did not define anything like the service or anything. So currently all the traffics go to the V1. Okay. Now we have to create a separate YAML file to define. Okay, the canary deployment. Canary is actually we can call it as traffic splitting. Okay, that's the method actually. So now we deploy the V1 application is running. Now we need to create the canary YAML file, and inside the YAML we have to traffic routing or traffic splitting. Okay, so there is an option there. Okay, coming to the parameter under the canary, we need to define 75% of we define under the weightage. Okay, there is a parameter there, weightage. Weightage, we need to define 75. That means, and we need to define the application. Okay, the V1. And that means, okay, and after we apply that YAML file, then the process look like, now you can see 100 traffic go to the V1, right? So that's reduced to 75%. And the rest of the 25% go to the V2. And gradually, okay, after a week or couple of weeks, we will reduce that count, okay, gradually. So now it's 25, right? So we need to add more like 35 or 55 like that. And finally, okay, eventually we can see 100% traffic go to the V2 version. And here we can see zero traffic after a couple of weeks. So gradually, actually, we adding more traffic to V2. That all thing we need to define under the YAML, that canary deployment YAML file there. Okay, so there we actually configure everything. And here there is no downtime because we're taking small traffic and routing that or scripting that traffic to the new version. So the consider 100 users are accessing our application, right? So the 25 users accessing after deploying that canary, 25 users are going to or routing to the new version. Also, we can take that process as a testing purpose as well. So that 25% users facing any issues or anything, we can change the request. I mean, change that splitting process and routing all the traffic to the V1 as well. Got it? Any doubt?
So
All of
for
you?
deploying
Yeah.
the V2 version of the application or the image, whatever it is, are we gonna create the new pod again or
New pod. See, new pod
no?
created here.
No, I'm just like for deployment, we are again spinning off the new node and we are deploying it.
No. Here we have two node.
Oh, we already have two node.
Yes, one and two there. I'm just writing that pod here as well because there is no space here. That's why.
So within a node there are two. Within a node there are two pods. You mean to say, or is it two
That's
nodes?
managed by the master part, right? That we don't worry about that. There's a echo from, I don't know, from.
I think you are using both the Guru
Oh,
schools
give me
and
a second.
trainer at this. You have to mute one of them.
Okay.
So you mean to say that two nodes are there?
Right.
Okay. So
The
how
node there.
do we know? How do we know the like which node? How we know that this application is running on this node and we have to deploy the version V2 on the other node?
No. I'm just drawing actually. For example, we have two node, okay? Node 1 and node 2. Console like that. And the current version here, okay? The pod. This is a pod. And that the master part actually deploying application to corresponding node, the healthy node, okay? So the master part continuously monitoring everything, the node status, node affinity and everything. So the V2, this is the V1, okay? The V2 might be here or here. That's not a problem. That's all. That's managed by the master part actually. I'm just drawing the second node, node 2. So that V2 come here or this node as well, node V2. Got it.
And
So we can see
everything
that
is managed by
using,
master. Okay.
right, kubectl get pod dash o wide. This command will show you the pod belongs to which node. So it will list the pod 1 belongs to node 1 like that, or pod 2 belongs to node 2 like that. So this is a command.
So
Right.
in the production, we can't write like we can't see from our local terminal saying that kubectl will get pods and everything. Like it has to be like an automation part, right? So how does it? Okay, maybe whenever we are doing lab, I'll have a clear picture.
So that's
Yeah.
fine. Now we are going. Yeah.
No, no, go ahead.
Okay. Now the second approach. Okay. The second strategy, that is blue green. So the same thing. Okay. We have a image 1 or image v1. And now we have the image v2. Okay. That is ready for the deployment. So currently the v1 is running here. Okay. This is a port. And container. So the container containing the v1 application. Now we have to deploy v2. Okay. So if we select blue green deployment, okay, consider like that, we deploy that v2 directly, okay, here. So that's comes under the same node or another node, okay. So the v2 deployed here, okay. So this is a port, another port, and the application running here. And we called as, okay, this is a v2 version 2. And how this version 1 accessing using service, right? So there's a service. So load balancer there. Using load balancer DNS name, we accessing the application kind of like that. And currently hold the 100% traffic accessing our V1 via the service. Okay, this service actually a stable service connection. We don't change this service. Okay, coming to production. This is all in production. Okay. So why it's called a stable? Because for the same application, we have some domain name, right? Like abc.com or google.com. So there we need to provide that load balancer URL, okay, to taking that domain. For example, if this application have a similar domain name, we have to put the domain load balancer DNS name there and taking that the URL. So in that case, we don't change the service. If we change the service, that means if we changing the DNS as well. So also we need to change in the domain name configuration as well. So that's another effort. That's why we called as a stable service connection for accessing the application. That's fine. Now we deploy the V2. So now directly we deploy the V2. Okay. So we are using blue-green deployment strategy. So using this strategy, we are deploying our application and routing all the traffic to the latest, that version 2 of the application. So we called, okay, if we select the blue green, we called that V1 as blue version. Got it. So the V1 is our blue version and the green is our latest version. That is V2. Now we will create a temporary, some cases we create a temporary service for that V2, a service connection or service. And we will share that service URL or the DNS URL to the stakeholders or some testing teams, okay, just to testing the application if everything is good or like that. So if everything seems fine, now we need to change the traffic. Now the all the 100% traffic go to the V1, right? So our requirement is we need to deploy that latest version or release the latest version. We successfully deploy that in Kubernetes, but we need to take that 100% traffic to the latest version. So that how we are going to do that process, okay? That process comes under the service YAML. So comes under the service YAML. Okay, this is a YAML file. How this YAML file, uh, I mean, this service knows this service is for, I mean, dedicated for that application V1. So there is a inside the YAML file we can see selector, right? So selector parameter we they defined that application name. So the app like V1 like that. Okay. Some names are there. Also, I'm just adding the version as well. So so all details we define under the selector of the service or DML. So now we are going to change that application name. Now the application name defined here is V1. So just open the service file and change the selector, I mean application selector, change it to V1 to the V2 application detail. So this is a deployment actually. So there's a name. So that's name we update here or add it here. Remove the existing one and add the new detail here and just apply the YAML file. kubectl apply service.yaml. Within a couple of seconds, actually, a millisecond, all the traffic will go to the V2, 100% traffic. Here there is a slightly delay, okay, just switching time there. So that's all. There is no piggyback for this case actually. If anything, I mean, now all the 100% traffic go to the V2, right? So the user facing any issues, we can quickly roll back. How roll back? Anyone can say how we will roll back?
Just go to service.yaml and change the selector, whatever we have
Yes,
done.
yes. Just to revise, change that name of the V1 as well. Because coming to real build scenario, we don't delete that code for a couple of weeks or month actually. So we can easily go back, like change that selector, open the YAML file again and change the name to the previous name, that is V1 name. Then apply it again. So all the drafts go to the previous version. Got it. Any doubt? So we can do one lab, okay, for the blue-green deployment. For the canary, we need to leverage some service, okay, like service mesh, like Istio or Nginx, Synchros, similar type of service we need to leverage to complete that part. Now I will show you blue-green deployment. So for that, we need a cluster. So you all deploy the EKS this way, right? All of you on your environment.
I didn't do it yet. I have to do it tomorrow.
Okay, okay, okay. I shared the resources, right?
You did, yes.
Okay. So my screen is visible, right? Okay, this is the sample application. Okay, we have to deploy a sample application. So here you can see this is application YAML file. So this is the kind is deployment, and the name of the deployment is Blue deployment. And replica, there is two application, two code creating, two containers also created. Then here we have a different name, okay, for that Blue deployment. So there is a official image there. So it's fine. Okay, this is official Docker Hub image. Okay, so this is a sample image to we can see that some UI part there. Okay, then so this is the part where we are using for the load balancer under the selector. So this is the main part. Okay, so we need to add that application label here. Okay, so this is the label. So this is unique actually. So unique that in our deployments. So here you can see, got it. So this is our version one. Consider like that. This is our application version one, and this is a stable connection, stable service for the version one as well. Now we need to deploy another application. Okay, using another image that is our version two. Then we will route the traffic. Got it, all of you. Meantime, I will create the YAML for the second application. Okay, copy, paste, and we just change the name for the deployment that is blue to green. So the deployment names green now. Okay, coming to real world scenario, we don't define like blue or green, but we choose another name. Okay, that is related to the application. Also change the application name as well. Okay, to green, blue to green. Container name I am changing to blue to green. Also the image. There is an image for green as well. Okay, green. Okay, that's fine. Now it's almost done. Okay, only we need to that setuping the node part as well. So the master part is completed. Okay. See, your cluster is up and running. Okay, so we can quickly deploy the application as well. Okay, to one. I'm updating the kubeconfig file, okay, to this machine so we can interact with the Kubernetes. Okay, just one. See, now I update the context of our Kubernetes kubeconfig. See the config file here. So this is a Kubernetes configuration file, okay, for the same app, Kubernetes. Now we can run kubectl command to interact with the API server. Get node. See, we can see that 3 node as well. So that's fine. Now we need to create that YAML manifest. So I will create one file for that blue deployment, blue.yaml. I'm just defining with these names, okay. Copy the blue. So that's fine. Blue. Yep. Also the image is blue. Okay. This is official image. Okay. Docker Hub. We can see this image in Docker. Not official one. Someone created that image. So I'm using apply the same image. kubectl apply file name blue.yaml. So the blue application successfully deployed. See kubectl get pod. And now we are going to deploy the service for the blue. Okay. So copy the service and back here. Save and exit. And we need to apply the same. Yes, we can see the kubectl get svc. See the URL also we can see here, right? So the version 1, okay, V1 is currently deployed and also we use the service for accessing the V1 is this load balancer DNS name. Okay, so the 100% traffic accessing the current application using this DNS name. Okay, so we called as blue for this version, and now we are going to deploy that advanced or newly added feature of this application, that is V2. So the V2 image is ready here. See, so this is a V2 image. Okay, I mean YAML file for the V2. Now we called the V2 as green. Got it. So first we need to access the application. So this is the image, okay, for this is just a representation, okay, to show you how this works, okay. So now you can see all the traffic sitting green. Got it. Sorry, blue. Got it. So this is just a representation of how the network, I mean, how the traffic are, which version of the image the traffic hitting, okay. So each blinking, like the blue blinking means it's representing a traffic, okay. just for the information. But in background is nothing actually because we don't have any real traffic, right? So currently the blue application is running and the traffic sitting to the blue also. Now we have the new version, right? So we have to create the new version as well. Nano green.yaml. Enter, copy the YAML file for the green. Paste. Also, we need to apply, okay, kubectl. So the green is deployed, okay. So we can see kubectl get pod. See, two replicas are there, okay. So we got two pod and for the blue and this is a new application. So we need to currently the production, okay. This is our production. So all the traffic is hitting to the green, blue actually, right? The V1. So now we need to publish or release the green version. I mean, for the same service connection. Okay, so this is the official or the stable service connection to accessing our application. So we can see that pod belongs to which node as well. Okay, kubectl get pod dash o wide. We can see the pod IP. These are the pod IP. Okay, the 192. These are the each individual pod IP. And you can see the blue deployment, we have two pod, right? So that two pod comes under different node. So this is a node IP. So 3 that ending with the 235 is one node and 16.5 another node. Again 2.3. That first node seems here, okay. Also the second node here. So third node is not here. I mean, we have three node, right? So only the application deployed to the that two node only. Give me a second, okay. I'm getting a call. Okay. Now here, so this way that master part scheduling the pod to the corresponding node, okay, just for your information. And now we are going to change the 100% traffic to the green version, okay. So for that, we don't do anything much actually, just open the YAML file for the service. Okay, open the YAML file. And here you can see the application selector. And now he changed to the application. We have two applications, right? One is green and blue. Currently, it's pointing to blue. Now I am changing to green. That's all. Save and exit and apply it again. Okay, the same YAML file, service file. So before that, you can see all the traffic hitting to the blue version. Okay. Now I am changing that. Updating the service YAML. Okay, hit enter. So just to go to the application, you can see that new version hitting here, the green. Got it. So this is the way we using that blue-green strategy whenever we're deploying a new feature of the application to production. So you can see it's a quick process, right? Just updating and all the traffic go to the V2. Anyone have any doubt?
So when can we stop seeing the blue ones? Because the
So that is,
100%, it
yeah,
is just
it's 100%. See, it's a refresh, that's all. It's caching
okay.
or something.
Okay.
You can roll back, okay? In case roll back, just do the same thing, like open it again and change it to green. Sorry, blue. This is a core part, okay? How we selecting the corresponding application and the selector part. Just add it to blue, hit enter and apply it again. You can see at the same time the blue hitting here.
It's going to be the same URL. The thing is only we are like
Yes,
updating
yes,
the
yes, yes.
service.
Right, 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 right. So coming to production, we don't change the URL, right? Because this is a stable URL
Yeah, I get.
and probably we using this for the domain joining us because we have some domain name like abc.com or similar like that. So
Mhm.
there actually we use this DNS name to resolution. I mean,
DNS.
this
Okay.
is yeah. So anyone have any doubt?
Do you have any idea of like ECS and the Fargate stuff topic? Because in my company, previous company, like
Hmm.
we do whenever we push a change like to the main branch and we deploy it to production, I do see like the tasks are running and service it is like shifting from like from version to it is shifting to next version. I do see the services it is like going slowly to 100%, wherein the service V1 will be after 100% shifting to V2, the service V1 will get drained. So do you know
Hmm.
how does it gonna work? And
So similar way that is comes under the canary, right?
uh,
Canary deployment.
but you said the canary deployment, it happens like we gonna route only 25%, 35%. But here, whenever we deploy a change in the production, it happens in just like 30 minutes and we
That
update
we
to
can
V2.
automate. That we can automate actually that process. Manually we can set also. We need to automate that as well. Like for a couple of hours or a couple of days. Again, it adding more traffic like that. So we don't open the YAML and manually adding more traffic to the V2. So that's also we can automate. Got it.
Mhm.
Okay, here we can see the deployment also see here, okay, using kubectl get deployment. So this is a command to remove everything. Within a single command, we can delete all the deployments. Kubectl delete deployment all. See, there is no deployment now or no pod as well. So one more thing I will show you, okay, that I'm applying one of the YAML file, okay. So I'm just deploying that blue-green deployment file. So it will create a deployment. See that green deployment. So if we select for the green deployment, we can see how many ports are there. Get port. See, 2 ports are there, right? So if we manually delete one of the port, what will happen? Anyone can say just kubectl
If the
delete.
we if we say replica S2, it's gonna spin up another one.
Right. So deployment will deployment will manage everything, right? So it will maintain that state, current state. The current state means current replica state that we define the YAML. That is 2. So if we remove, uh, delete any of the pod manually, that will create another pod, okay? So the pod is currently under deletion. It's deleted. And again, see, it's created again, 16 seconds. So that's why we deploy the YAML file, define the kind as deployment, okay? So deployment will ensure everything. This is manually deleted, okay? Consider it's deleted from the port side automatically with some issues happening. Then the deployment will automatically create the port. And then rest of the part coming to the Kubernetes, we need to learn that volume part, okay? Like persistent volume and persistent volume claim. Then secrets. So that's all we need to cover coming week, okay? So for example, some database running, okay, using Kubernetes. So whenever the database container restart, all the data will be lost, right? If we don't, or if we did not create any dedicated volume for that part. So in that case, we will using persistent volume, okay, for that data persistence. So that's all we need to take coming section. So we can wind up today, right? If you don't have any doubt.
Sure, but Tawfiq, you said like you're gonna show us like the creation everything through automation rather than
Alright.
creating manual.
Yes. So that's all I will show you comes under the automation class actually for that Terraform and Ansible. Or else, other thing I need to take that class in coming week, and also of that class, we need to follow that Terraform for this. The deployment process. So I will plan that, okay, accordingly for the Terraform part when we can start the Terraform. So, for example, if we start the Terraform, okay, the next time we can automate, for example, the EKS deployment. Okay, now we automate the EKS using EKS ETL, but we can use Terraform for the same. All good, right?
Yes, from my side.
Then we can wind up, right? All of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy
Sorry.
weekend.
Yeah, today
Yep,
who did,
happy weekend. Yes.
can you?
Bye, everyone.
No. Someone is asking something. Harshal?
Yes,
Yeah.
Sasha.
Yes. So who did the today's recording? Can you please share it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Then bye all. Happy
Yeah,
weekend.
can you share the Docker documentation too, please?
Yes. I will share now.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Bye all.
Bye. Good weekend.